I think I know most of you in the audience, but in the case that you don't know me, I'm Ethel Goodstein. I'm the Associate Dean of the Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design, and I note that on our program, we are listed carefully as the UARC founding institution. And as I stand at this podium in this splendid space, bedecked with glorious paintings, I can't help but remember the spring semester of 1998 when I joined Davide and Emilio in rather closer quarters on the Via Lutari, where 15 of our University of Arkansas architecture majors, and I think a sprinkling of University of Tennessee at Knoxville students, worked tirelessly, albeit elbow to elbow and other things to other things, to make cultural sense of their experience in Rome and use that experience to propel their design sensibilities, their problem solving, their appreciation and their apprehension of world cultures to yet another level. I relate this history because I want to emphasize that I feel very much part of this place with Davide and Francesco and the many new good colleagues that have joined us in this enterprise. And I'm privileged indeed this morning to be the moderator. I don't like the term moderator. That means you have to be moderate, and I'm not known for being moderate. But nevertheless, good behavior will prevail. I am honored to have the challenge of offering some summative thoughts, bringing together this group of good colleagues. It's difficult to be charged with the concluding session because you can't provide remarks for a conclusion until you have heard everything. And one is challenged with consecutive paper sessions going on. So there again, one cannot have heard everything. But nevertheless, we can try to find some salient points that I know are of concern to those of us who are on the administrative side of programs in the States, as well as those good colleagues here who interface with our students so closely and with such dedication. If I may take the moderator's privilege to start, I've contemplated the title of our symposium, After the Grand Tour. For that suggests that the Grand Tour has had its day, that the splendor of hitting the road with sketchbook in hand has somehow come and gone, that our discoveries, our visions are somehow separate from the many individuals who traversed Rome over centuries with those sketchbooks in hand, hoping to see the future through the past. It would be easy, it would be very easy, to dismiss the Grand Tour as the enterprise of privileged white men of a certain class and a certain ilk. It would be easy to dismiss the Grand Tour as everything that we hope to eliminate from the experience of students today. We want a different kind of Grand Tour, of course, that is inclusive, that sees the difference and the nuances and the shades of confusion and complexity beyond the grand monuments. But at the same time, I think about the Grand Tour, and I think, would my own education as an architect and an architectural historian have been equally vivid without Stewart and Revette's Antiquities of Athens? Not such a bad product of the Grand Tour thinking. Would my own engagement with the past as a vehicle for learning how to build for the present been as rich had I not seen the esquisses of the École des Beaux-Arts Envoi? Had I not learned what Theo Labrouste had learned in Rome and the Campagna from his sketches? Would I be able to vision the spectacle of place and the endurance of lessons learned from the past for the future without seeing Thomas Cole's painting of the Campagna or without reading Henry James' descriptions of life in Venice? I think not. And as someone working, living, and thriving in the era after modernism, would complexity and contradiction have been quite as sharp, quite as purposeful, quite as provocative without the gloss of history and the Grand Tour behind it?